Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here with Dustin's Dynasty, again with you for another week, another tale, and another story from the life of Dustin, creator of Dustin's Dynasty. I've been doing living autism and mental health struggles most of my life. Been living independently for over 7 years. Been working for over 16 years. And every week I share a glimpse with you of my life living with autism and mental health challenges. And this week we're going to talk about being the evidence. And it took me a long time to see why it is important to be the evidence and how, taking care of your mental health each and every day matters most and why it's important in the process of living the way that you need to live. And for a long time, I couldn't see that living independently. I frankly, I didn't care. And as I didn't care and was basically surviving, not thriving, I was not taking care of myself and not taking my medication. And that often is a sign, in a way, of not caring for your mental health, that it is what makes others notice that you're not yourself and that you need to do the things you need to do. It's more than medication, but medication starts heading yourself down the path where others really notice a change in you. And I think over the past few years, when I wasn't doing that, people saw the behaviors, the patterns, the way I acted, the signs that my mental health needed cared for. And part of that was medication and seeing that I have knowing for myself what the signs are to look for and knowing that how important and how crucial it is to take my medication exactly as prescribed each and every time. And more in 2026, I see, the way people are and how things are in the world and why it is more than ever important to take medication. Maybe it's me doing a little more research on my own, working on my goal at day services, or maybe, just watching different clips on social media about what happens when you don't take your medication and why it's important to take your medication. But all kidding aside of that, it's other things too, that being cognizant of signs that maybe things are a little too much for you or that things that you need to do are more important, and medication helps you get to that point. But ultimately it is being mindful of your mental health, knowing when to say no, those sort of things that keep yourself in check, making sure that you rest every day, you sleep every day, that you have a good night's sleep. Those things matter too. And I think, part of it is now that I know there's people out there that are supporting me, that are overseeing me, that have more of an insight and see more when something's wrong. And, I know that I don't want to have uncomfortable conversations like I had in the past. So I do everything that I can to the best of my ability. Now, that is not the fact that, we're not wanting to have those conversations when we need to have them. But if we can do the things that we know we need to do to not make those conversations be as uncomfortable as they were in the past, then we know we can't do those things. And likewise, many things have changed over the years and even recently to understand that, as much as we want to think there's second chances in the world, there are not second chances, and things can be quite consequential where we don't have opportunities provided to us, access to things. So it's important always for me to be who I can be and show others around me that yes, taking care of my mental health is important. And yes, doing things exactly as prescribed is just as important. And how important those things matter. and seeing how, not how that's not being done by others, or there's challenges by others, makes me see that, life is, life's different, and life is not the same. But, I often look back at the behaviors that I once had when I wasn't taking care of my mental health too. And I use those as shining examples as to why it's just as important to take care of my mental health as much as it is my physical health. And how, sometimes there's things that I eat and I drink that equally have an effect of how I behave and how I interact, and how important it is to do the things that I need to do, not only as far as caring for my mental health, but caring for my physical health too. And that is also moving around, being awake and alert during the day, eating the things that I know are best for me, drinking the things I know that are best for me, because I know I have to be the one who can be the one and show others that it's important to live by example. It's important to be the evidence. And time, I say it again, when I wasn't my best, others saw that. And I didn't like how I was when I was like that. And sometimes I didn't know they were even around. To the point, I was very ashamed of myself. Even today, as we go out, if I go out into the public, maybe to the supermarket or something, and there's always somebody there who knows me. No matter where I go in the world, there's often somebody who knows me many times. And it takes me being my best, showing them that I've overcome so much in the world, that it is so important for me to always keep my mental health up to par while managing my physical health. Yes, there's things that come with caring for my mental health that are challenging, such as the weight gain, the wanting to eat, the excessive sleeping. But those I have accepted are part of life. And we do what we need to do to manage ourselves through them, even though we may be disgruntled or upset, or, angry at the world because they are. But many times I had seen that I had had flawed thoughts because of thinking that things were hurting me or not letting me be the person who I want to be, when in fact that was quite the opposite. And sometimes you have to believe in yourself too, that you can do the things that you don't think you can do, so that you can prove to yourself that you can do them. Maybe you weren't taught, maybe you don't know, maybe you need a friend or somebody to show you the way. But if you have that comfort in what you feel you want to do and go for, and you don't, and it's truly proven that things like medication or mental health aren't a barrier to that, or not caring for your mental health is not a barrier to that. But caring for your mental health in a way, and maybe something that you believe you want to happen does happen, but maybe not in the same way as others, because we are all human. We are all not one the same human. So things may be a little different for us. We may experience life a little different than others, and that's okay. We are still the same loving human being we are, despite our challenges, despite our struggles, despite what we have to go through. We are amazing humans. And by me continuing to do what I have to do to care for my mental health, be the one who needs to be the one, and do the things the way that I want to do it, and see that there is power in caring for my mental health the way that I have always known. It brings on greater opportunities, the opportunity to be accountable, ready, certain, ready to go. Maybe sometimes things change, and sometimes we need a little help navigating those changes, understanding our changes, coping with things, that may be new to us, or understanding that autism is part of life, and that too, and mental health are part of life, but autism, is a part of life. And instead of trying to always fix something, sometimes we have to learn to grow with it and accept things as they are, not only in mental health, but in autism, and in combination, be the evidence that we need to be who we can be, and show others that hey, we can live this life. We can make it the best we want to make it, and we can do the things that we plan to do. It's been a long road, and I'm actually in a really good spot now, and I'm doing really excellent. And it's come a long way to get to that point, and I'm proud of myself for every little accomplishment that I make. As I always say, it's always about the small. Sometimes it's the little things, and sometimes it is the little things. It's making those small steps, to getting where we can do and know. And part of that too, I guess in some ways, like, you know, being able to keep a clean home. And that has been something that I personally have struggled with for many years. And I was very pleased this week to get a compliment from my sibling that I was able to do most of the cleaning. And as a result, it only took her an hour to do the remainder of the things I was not able to do. And that, I would say, in 5 years that I have known, has been a record in this apartment. For being able to do that because it's always been a struggle, I think, in one way or another. But from years ago, when I first had to have it cleaned by my family members, it was 5 hours. Then it went to 3 hours, 2 hours, and now we're down to 1 hour. And I mean, you may think that's still a little bit of a way to go, but considering everything that I did on my part and just the upkeep I have kept on things, it proves to myself and to others that I'm going to make it in this world and I'm going to survive. And sometimes that means trusting others in the process too. It is indeed being the evidence, that is for sure. So, with that being said, I want to thank you this weekend. I wanted to keep this short and brief. It's a holiday weekend. I have things I want to do, and I'm starting, it's taking a step sometimes of being brave and just doing the things that you need to do. So, I want to leave you this weekend. Be sure to hit that like button if you like. Tap that notification bell on whatever platform you are watching, and be sure to follow the channel if you have a follow button. And we'll be back next week. Um, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, Pinterest, and TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on the web. That address is www.dustinsdynastyusa.com. And lastly, I have all my links, all my podcasting platforms on Linktree under Dustin's Dynasty. Again, I want to thank you. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe out there. We'll talk at you soon. Remember, you matter, you are enough, and you are loved. Have a good weekend, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.